Hi, ma'am. We are here on the National Youth Day. We have some concerns, questions regarding our youth mental issue. Thank you for addressing us anyway. So I'll just go ahead with my questions. Any messages, ma'am, for us?
First thing is today's is National Youth Day. So youth always every country is very proud about it and youth is the future of tomorrow. So if you are really healthy, not only physically but also mentally and emotionally, we can really create a good nation. So let's begin with the question answers. Whatever questions I have got through the mental health issues faced by the youth, I'm here today to answer you. Whatever you want to, you can simply post it on the YouTube and I'll be answering them.
Okay, so here we have the first question for you. Why is mental health important for the youth?
See, facing mental difficulties or challenges has always been an issue from long time. We always feel that if we discuss it out, people will judge us, they will say something, and we always think that we should always keep it within us. We never try to speak it out, and one fine day it just comes to a end where we don't know what are we facing, what are we going through, and then it's a breakdown point. So the problem is we still feel it's a negative impact on a person. Like if you're going for any mental therapy or anything, we still attach it with the mental like mental illness as a person who's suffering from mental problems. Okay, people say, oh, a mad person only needs a mental help, or mentally retarded people only needs the help. It's not so. There is a strong relationship between a child and adolescent's mental health issues. So when you are turning into a youth, you should seriously understand that sometimes negative impact also affects us. You got it? It bothers our confidence, it bothers our way of performing and our well-being. And if our foundation is not good, then how can we have anything called happiness? Isn't it? So we should understand that mental health is very much important because it actually brings out the personality of who you are and how you behave in the particular situations and how do you shape yourself.
So, so my next question is like, ma'am, why is mental health for youth is not taken seriously? So, do you feel like, as a psychologist, do you feel the same that it is not taken
Yeah,
seriously?
at times people think that, yeah, when you have an adolescent kid in your house or a youth, people think that no, they just simply withdraw and all. Parents most probably feel that that's the young blood, that's a hot blood, so they take some random decisions and they try to control them. But that is really a serious problem. Why don't we listen to the people? Isn't it? We should give a ear to the youth also because sometimes they have intelligent ideas with them. They have certain concerns which they needs to talk. So most of the time, if you see that kids are not taken seriously from the age of 14, 13, 14 to 21, 25 years old. So most of the times you see people think that the parents or the relatives thinks that they just say something in air, but no, it's not there. They also want to share their experiences. They also want to talk about their feelings and emotions. And I request everyone that please pay attention to your kids, not because they are small or not because they are adolescent or turned youth, but yes, they also have certain feelings. They also have certain emotions which really needs to be actually heard before they react. Listen to them once at least. So this is how the mental health will be taken care. If as a parent, as a seniors, as a teachers, as a colleagues, if we give them a patient's ear to listen to their problems, they can make a good personality out of it.
Okay, ma'am, thank you so much. I feel that is really like great things to know. And ma'am, as a youth, I always wonder what are the most common mental health issues in youth.
The most common mental health issues, not only in youth but everyone. Okay, the first thing is the sad and hurt feelings definitions. As we always say, we are in depression, but depression is a very big, huge umbrella under which there are different things. We always get anxiety. So, first thing I would say, anxieties. Yes, anxieties maybe because of sad things, maybe because you're hurt, or maybe because of your overwhelm. So anxieties is the first issues which we everyone go, whether it's you, me, or even a child, isn't it? We all go through this. The second topic which usually we have seen in youth is the depression. Yes, when there are people around them, but when they ignore the particular patterns of behavior, or they don't analyze why this child is quiet or is withdrawing, sometimes people overlook thinking that ye to aisa hi hai. You got the point. They just ignore the stuffs, and then one fine day you find the suicidal tendencies happening, and this child, because of anxieties, who went into a depression, ends its life. So these are the things most of the times you have seen kids or adolescents doing self harm to themselves. Some people get panic order disorder, and they react panically and they start hurting themselves. These are few things. Then there are post traumatic stress also, like some accidents or someone losing their very close knit or the grandparents or someone like that, and then they go into a trauma and they start reacting in a different manner. So these are some of the basic things which you find in any person or in the youth of today's. But in today's youth, mostly depression is the case, anxieties is the case, OCD is also one of the symptoms which you find in today's generations. So these are few things which we need to address on a regular basis, and we should take care of all these small incidents.
Okay, fine, fine. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, we have some other questions asked through our comments and also through our inbox. We had many questions like that. So, I'm just starting the question with, like, one of our client have asked, how do mental health issues start?
It starts with anxieties. Understand one thing: when your emotions, your feelings are not being understood, when you're feeling very sad, when you're feeling very low, and you see that person is not being paid attention or given that space to be heard, that is the time when you can figure out that mental health issues have started. Yes, when you feel that something is really bothering you or you're worrying excessively, and you can see that, this happens, isn't it? Like, okay, if for example in the kids, if the student has not done his homework, he starts getting worried the teacher is going to punish him. In the seniors, if they have given a deadline of the project, you see them working and they are not meeting it, maybe because of some other difficulties and all. So these are the things which actually starts with the sadness, with the hurt feeling, feeling low, feeling guilty, and not able to concentrate on particular work. You start, or sometimes, some people, they start overeating also, thinking that they are very okay with eating. And then there are certain symptoms of mental health issues which most of the time we ignore, is the stomach pain or the headache. Yeah, if you can remember any one of your friend complaining of certainly type of pains, and he's not or she's not able to explain you, and then suddenly they say, I've got stomach pain, I've got head pain, I've got backache and all this thing. Just don't take it lightly. This can be the symptoms of some complications happening with this person, which is not been understood by a normal brain. But at that point, don't ignore them. Take it little seriously. And maybe you get a reason that maybe this person is suffering from mental health issues, or is suffering from being lonely or sadness, and he needs a proper advice or a proper help from a professional.
Okay, so that kind of like pains can also be because of the mental issues. Fine, ma'am.
Yes.
So we have another question here asked as, what are toxic emotions in relationship and how do we understand and how can we overcome it?
See, first thing is emotions. We have different sort of emotions like anger, anxieties. We love, we get excited, isn't it? So these toxic emotions are like when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling shameful, when you're feeling a little bitterment towards any relationship, or you're feeling really with guilt, you are having something called regret into you, these emotions will never be positivity to anyone in relationship. So understand, when you're going through certain things like anger, guilt, regret, or some sort of bitterment towards someone, or some topics or some environment, these are actually been categorized under toxic, which doesn't give you pleasure, which doesn't give you peace of mind, which doesn't give you any sort of happiness. So when you don't find any peace of mind for being into any relationship or any other particular circumstances, that tries to harm your mental health. And not only this, my dear, it also harms your physical health also. So understand that rather consistently, when you're going on feeling that nothing is happening, nothing is falling in the right place, and you feel you're very sad about it, these are the alerts. So get awake, do your self check. Sometimes you may also find lack of trust or controlling behavior into this, so you have to be really very understanding how these toxic emotions are working on you.
Okay. And ma'am, we have another question asked. How can we figure out that the relation is not working? Maybe any relation that is not working out.
My dear friend, I feel so relationship is the best ship which we have, isn't it? Friendships and relationships are the best ships which sails in this world. The vessels are always floating on the oceans, but these are the things which we nourish and nurture throughout our life. So maybe as a couple, if you keep on having conflicts, and now and then these conflicts are actually been dragged on for months without any end, and you have a disrespectful behavior in this conflicts, so these are some arguments which you can think over, that there is something called the relationship is not working, because you're always fighting on a problem which is actually been sorted out, but that same problem is picked up every now over and over, and you have nothing but you get irritated with it. So understand this, that this is the beginning. When unnecessary conflict starts, it's the beginning that you have to understand where this relationship is heading. For any romantic relationships, closeness and intimacy should go hand in hand, isn't it? And every relationships goes through some cycle and some phases where one or the both partners loses their closeness or intimacy, then there is no chemistry between them. So the partners then give a red flag. You got it? It actually means a red flag, because when there is no intimacy in the relationship, when there's no understanding, and just keep on fighting, there's no chemistry, then it's a problem. When the trust has taken for granted as different, different couples needs for trust is different, understand that. So everywhere where the couples are, the commitment, the meaning of trust, the adjustments, they are actually different. Yes, that is the main glue of any foundation. So if that is not happening in a right manner, then there is a problem in your relationship. Secondly, when as a couple you're not spending time together, like for example, you are not having time to have an important conversation, or you're not exploring things togetherly, or being not cuddled by each other, sometimes you are not hugging each other, you're not being intimate with each other, and can also be observed that your emotional needs are not being addressed, so or been met with the partner, then these are the things which actually create issues, and then you feel that you are being pushed towards the loneliness and there is no safety. You feel that your romantic relationship is going under certain turmoil. So when you feel you are being cheated, or feel you have been left alone and there is no proper help happening, or you see something changes happening in your relationship, then my dear friends, it's a red flag. You should understand that something is going wrong in your relationship, and you should be alert of it and take necessary actions to provide it.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, we have some other questions on emotion. So it is asked that how to control your emotions. Like,
Understand, my dear friend, without emotions, a person is absolutely zero. he becomes a robot, isn't it? So for emotions, you should, what is exactly emotions? It's the way how we behave, how we express ourselves, isn't it? So emotions actually makes a man. You got it, a personality. So if you are a happy person, you'll always be happy under any conditions, in any survival situations given to you. So first identify your types of emotions and how your emotions are actually impacting you. That is the main important thing. It is perfectly normal if you experience overwhelming emotions, or you are I mean facing some terrible emotions also, like irritation, sad and all. It is okay, but check how your uncontrolled emotions are affecting you on your daily basis, on your daily life. Because sometimes we do get excited, we do get happy, we just jump out whatever is the age. When some good things happens, we seriously come out of it, isn't it? We jump, we express ourselves. So I just want you to understand that just notice when your emotions go out of hand, and at that time of conflicts, whether it is like, do you have any conflicts going on, or do you have any problems in between your friendships or relationships, and you're feeling it difficult to relate to others, and are your emotions high? Just observe that. That is more important. Sometimes you are finding yourself troublesome environment, maybe at work, or maybe on in your university, or maybe you're having something like feeling physically or emotionally outburst also because of some uncontrollable things happening around you. So it's okay, you should analyze it, you should understand. Sometimes your emotions are or can be uncontrollable. If you urge for anything like this happening around you, understand one thing: please don't take help of any substances if you feel that you're not able to control your emotions. Yes, like most of the people will say like, okay, I just went out and had a smoke. No, that's not the right way to control your unwanted emotions. Secondly, aim at the regulations of what are you doing with your emotions. Are you suppressing, or are you repressing your emotions? Are you preventing yourself from experiencing and expressing feelings? That needs to be understand. Okay, this can happen consciously or unconsciously, but make it sure that don't sweep away with your emotions. Yes, don't sweep away under the carpet or under the rug. Just find balance between your actual emotions and when you are having no emotions. Understand one thing, my friends: lot of cases are happening in our society. If you don't understand what you're going through, what your emotions are actually telling you, it's always going to be a complication. Always identify. Please, I always say this even to my clients, that please always identify what are you feeling, what made you feel so. Okay, why did it made you feel so in that particular way? Ask some questions. Otherwise, like, you will always be closing, or you'll always be just passing it off. So I want you to understand what I want, what I want to do about these feelings. Frame the questions, where ask as many as questions you want about yourself, because that is how it's going to help you. Because understand, this difficult situations actually make you a strong person. Accept all your emotions, as that they will make you more comfortable with your uh, whatever feelings you're getting. But if you're pressing your and not accepting your emotions, it's going to create you more, and you'll be just getting into a lot of unwanted overthinking patterns and all those things. Accept all your emotions, as that will make you more comfortable with other things. And for accepting emotions, try thinking over it. Yes, think over it as a messengers. When you're feeling that some emotions are not able to understand, okay, question yourself. Remember, they are not good or bad. Emotions are only neutral, and they bring sometimes pleasant, unpleasant feelings also. But they are still very important because they give you information. Okay, so I want you to understand these are few things. And as a psychologist, I always suggest people that whatever it is, whenever you come on a threshold, you're not able to understand your problems, or you're not able to figure out what is right and wrong for you, write down it. Yeah, make a journal of it. Write down, keep asking help. Don't forget, that's not wrong if you ask a professional help. But before that, yes, you should actually understand and recognize how is it bothering you, how is it affecting you, and is it right. Talk about it to someone from who is your friend, or maybe someone who is really taking interest in you, that is going to help you.
Okay, ma'am. So, will the writing of journals or just thinking about the emotions and working over it will really help us in doing this?
Yes, sometimes writing out journals, as I said, when you write a journal, you ask questions. Is this feeling of mine justified? Is this what I am actually thinking about? Is this the right way to think? Can I do this? When you ask questions to yourself in silence, and you note it down, you come to one conclusion. It really helps. Secondly, there are other techniques also which we say as breathing exercises, sometimes physical exercises. And even I ask people to do meditation. Now everyone has this thing like meditation and mindful practice. So most of my clients say we don't want to do meditation. I don't say do meditation by just folding your hands and sitting in closing your laps and just sitting in a one room. No, if you're reading book, get into it. If you are into the kitchen, go work on it. But when you're into the kitchen or when you're reading something, don't pay attention here and there. Don't go in the loops thinking that okay, this happened, that happened. So what happens is, meditation does not only means that you have to sit in certain position or certain postures, close your eyes and take deep breaths and all. No, meditation is also like focusing on something which you like to, till you get your peace of mind, and that brings smile on your face. So practice meditation. It may be like for the ladies, maybe you're cooking food. So cook food 100%. Be engrossed into that activity. Get into it from your head to toe. You should feel that you're all into it. That is also sort of meditation. If you're drawing something, forget the entire world. Focus in the drawing. You're making a biryani, get into it. And that's how is the meditation starts. Then maybe after some time you may realize that you have to listen to certain music and all. If you're listening to the music also is perfectly okay, but listen to it. That gives you a lot of relaxation. Okay, so there's other activities also you can go for, like you go out, freak out with friends, listen to the new people's talks and enjoy yourself. These all activities really bring a lot of changes in the mind as well as your mood swings also.
Okay, ma'am. So I think that is answered perfectly. Thank you so much. So we have another question. It is like, what is toxic positivity, and how can we understand and overcome out of it?
Okay, toxic positivity is again connected with your emotional management. Okay, many times people do not fully acknowledge their negative, or they just ignore, their anger, sadness, guilt. And we all know that whichever things are excess are always bad, isn't it? So sometimes people think like, okay, for example, many of you might have heard about it like, okay, everything is good, there's a brighter side, if something goes wrong, forget it, move on. But sometimes it's really necessary to address it. Every time being positive is not going to work out, because one fine day you will break. You got it. In life, everything is okay. Attitude is not good. Sometimes it's better you speak it over. It might be really hurting, but voice it out. Speak it out. Because there are certain emotions on your daily basis you see that you might have heard, isn't it? Look good in the other side of it if there's darkness here. But no, it doesn't. A person who goes through it only knows it. For example, if somebody has lost a job, and you say chalo jo hua acha hai, and let's see this, there's a brighter side also, you can start your own business. But is it so easy to forget and move ahead? I don't think so, isn't it? It takes time to come out of it. Toxic positivity is never intentional. Understand this. So, you all, like, very frankly, there are signs like of toxic positivity. We always try to mask positivity. Yes, we always, whether anyone you touch, okay, ये हो गया चलो ठीक है अच्छा है, we are ready, we are at the end, you see that everything is positive, we say all that. But when that person has lost his job, there is so much of stress. How is he going to pay his EMIs? How is he going to run his family? All these things are going in his mind, and how can you simply say there is a brighter side? So accept before saying anything to anyone. I want you to understand that please accept what that person is trying to figure it out. Simply saying, yeah, everything is fine and don't worry, things will get better. It's not so easy. It's life. We have to put in efforts. We can't just forget, let go things. We have to work on it. Okay, so here I just want to say, like, positivity is good, but where are you saying it? Mind it. जिस आदमी को चोट लगी है तुम बोलते हो ठीक हो जाएगा 2 मिनट में, कैसे पॉसिबल है? नहीं होता है, isn't it? So understand, when somebody is going through something, rather than giving him a positivity, come on, listen to his problems, at least give that ear, discuss it. What is he going through? Understand why is he going through. If you can't give him any solution, please don't feed him with the positive quotes and don't validate it, because sometimes, negative emotions are normal. Voicing your feelings is important. So if you're feeling, don't keep it like, okay, theek hai, chalo, understood, it will happen next time. I want you people to understand this, that positivity is always good, but toxic positivity is also difficult. It's also an emotional imbalance. So take care of this while dealing with all these things.
Okay, ma'am. So if we come across a problem, or you find a person coming across a problem, so if it is a toxic positivity, if it is followed by others, so how could we console that person? Like, how could we express our love or our like heart to them?
See, when a person is going through something in his life and you stand there and say that, okay, we everything is going to be all right, it is going to take time, everything is going to be all right, but everything has to be worked out properly. So talk to the person, give that person different plans, how it, but not at that point when he has literally broken. Give him a time to gather himself, give him a time to understand what happened. So I just want you to understand that things will happen only when you emotionally understand and emotionally connect with that person. And instead of giving a false advices or just making, look like, okay, there's other side of it and all that things, I understand. Give the patience ear. Be with that person. Give him that support. Give him that, motivational talks wherein he can actually gather himself from the point he has broken.
Okay, ma'am. So sometimes you feel that leaving the person alone for sometimes will also be helpful.
Yeah, at times it's better you give the space to the person for some time, because that really works out. Let him be alone for half an hour or maybe a day, because he needs that time to figure out where he went wrong. But that doesn't mean don't check on him. You can check on him, you can be there around him, that whenever he comes out you are there to help him out. Don't leave him completely alone.
Okay, ma'am. So we have another question on regret. So difficulty in the phase of moving on from regrets. How to handle when they hit back when you are down.
See, when we feel disappointed and sorrow with some issues, what happens? Can you tell me what do you feel?
Regrets again.
What?
It will be regretted again.
Yes, why do we regret? Why do
Yes.
we regret? First thing.
Yeah, because we have the feel that it should not be like that, and again.
Yes, when we feel disappointed and sorrow on some issues, we always wish that I wish I could have had some time to rectify it.
Yes, exactly.
Isn't it? That is the
Yes.
feeling, because the choice what I made at that time. Now yesterday also when I had a client, he said that he was regretting because he could have changed the things what happened in his life. But at that point of time, you just reacted. You reacted with whatever knowledge and experience you have. Not necessary that you have to actually, show your maturity, because our regrets are always accompanied with shame. Understand this. And these feelings are really choking and making us comfortable. So, and most of the times, if you see, these regrets actually are so endless, and they are always staying with us while sleeping or while, doing something. And what end of the day? They stop us from progressing in our life. So, first thing, understand letting go regrets is very important in our actually emotional well-being of our life, because it affects not only our emotional but also our physical life. So regrets, if you say, are harmful. You push down your feelings of guilt and embarrassments because they are unpleasant. No one likes to be into it, isn't it? And you are feeling disappointed because you are not understanding where you have to get up and remind yourself that it was an incident. That is the biggest mistake we do. We always feel that, whatever we have done is done and there's no chance, and we keep repenting on it. These actually, understand, these regrets also can be used in a positive way. We can still improve on our, decision making, because once, now yesterday I told this client of mine, okay, you feel the things are finished, but don't you not now realize that, okay, your behavior at that particular time caused you to end this relationship. So now what are you going to do? In future, you're going to be very cautious. You're going to understand how you're going to work out in the relationship. So this incident, what happened, instead of regretting on it, you learned something new of your life. You took a challenge that now you're not going to do anything wrong. You are going to grow with this regret. So it's okay. Once you're fallen, you need to get up. So why you have to sit and be feeling guilt about it? Because if you feel it's guilty, don't do it. You're not going to do it again, because now is the time where you're going to correct it. Okay, so I really want you to understand that, move ahead. If you don't have to sit with guilt, don't have to close the doors, no need of going into any dark cocoon. Okay.
Yeah. And ma'am, could you please help us? Like, if you have seen, like, depression is a great issue that is faced by the youth nowadays, and the youth are running behind substance abuse and also some kind of unwanted substances. So, what is your note on that, and how can the youth come out of it and in the clusters of this substance abuse and all?
First thing is, the problem is, we always think that nothing is happening. I mean, see, there are so many things happening around our society, as you said rightly. Recently also, you might have seen, when you switch on the TV, there is some murder case going on, suicidal cases. Nowadays suicidal cases have increased. Why is it? There's a lot of stress in every aspect of life, but we should notice it. People are going behind substances, people are thinking of ending their life on small, small issues, because they are not understanding that they need to talk on it. They don't understand that it is a time that we need to take a professional help. They think everything is okay, or maybe there is still the taboo in the society that, okay, if you go to a psychologist or you go to a counselor, it is something wrong, it is something a bad remark for you. But understand, when you feel your friend, your relatives, or anyone is not doing the regular activities and trying to withdraw from those regular activities, you find some behavioral changes in your friends or in the youth or in your adults and kids and all those things, I want you to keep a check on it. Go and talk on it. See, talking is not bad. Keep the communication open. Until and unless you don't communicate, you will not know whether the person is really feeling hurt, he's going through sad emotions, or he is on the verge of depression to break down. The best thing is go and communicate. But that doesn't mean कि आप जाके उसको बार बार ज्ञान बांटो. You should not go and sit and just give lectures and examples and, unnecessarily bother that person. Take that person out, take him into the fresh air, talk to him some logical things. Sometimes it's better we do illogical talks also. Not necessary every time intellectual talks are done. So I want you to understand, figure out the habits. What are the habits and why the person is withdrawing? Try to go to the root cause. Sometimes it's okay if you are not in a position to help it, because हम कभी कभी अपनों को पहचान नहीं पाते हैं, अपनों को सहारा नहीं बन सकते. So that time go and take a professional help. That will help people taking the last step of their life, that is called suicide.
Okay, ma'am. So I have found another issues in the youth nowadays. We have a question on that. Is that the depression is taken as very simply as everything. If a person is keeping quiet, then it is called as depression. If the person is sad, then it is called a depression. Could you please tell us that how the depression can be defined, how it is actually works, like how it happens during the time of a
See,
depression?
understand one thing. In the form of depression, a person really goes into a cocoon. Okay, cocoon in the sense he doesn't want to talk to anyone. He or she, whoever is gone into a depression, this person will not come out of the room. The person loves darkness a lot. The person wants to get cut off from everyone. He sits in his room, locks up into his room. He's not focused on eating. He's not focused on his hygienes also at times, and they are only worried about what happened to them. They don't want to discuss that incident. They are choking their feelings. They are just putting down their emotions in them. They feel that the entire world is their enemy and nobody is there to understand this. So these are some of the symptoms of depression. The person withdraws so quickly. There are certain people, they are going through the depression very silently, but they keep a very strong face, and people don't understand it. You got it. People can't figure out that this person could be in depression because, as I said, we all are very good in masking positivity. We don't want to let the people know what we are going through. But in alone, they put their head into the pillows and they cry, or they take their knees in the chest in the bathroom and they sit crying for hours and hours. So, understand one thing, the person who is going through depression may be sometimes trying to present him or her to be very happy, or they would even present that they are okay with it. Until you're okay with it, it's fine. But when you are really started affecting your health, suddenly you'll see people getting lean, or suddenly people get adopted to eating habits. People start eating junk food or something like that. These are some syndromes, or these are some symptoms, I would say. You can check with your friends or your colleagues or anyone if they are having depression or no, because these are some of the signs. Suddenly people keeping not giving their opinion, just withdrawing, but they will be doing their regular activities, but that person is deeply down hurt. When you're hurt, you get angry, you react. When you're sad, you keep quiet for some time, but then you have that energy to come back. But there are certain cases where a person just fakes he's okay, and then one fine day, one big jolt or one such trigger, that person will take a step, and that step goes towards ending his life. So you have to remember all these things, that how you can identify a person is going through depression.
Okay, ma'am. As a psychologist, more than a 24-year of experience in this. So, could you please go through your experience and tell us that the youth are facing issues, the mental issues that come to you as common, or for which you give the remedies, anything as a home remedies or something like that you could give to us?
To be very frank, most of the kids, they feel they are not heard. Okay, the youth, they feel they are not heard, their parents are not understanding, they're not being given that space to open up. Because we always think, as a parents, we are always right, we have the right to take the decision for the behalf of the kids. But no, today's kids is much more mature. Today's generation is Z generation. Yes, people are very, I mean, to be very frank, people are really knowledgeable. Everything is available at the tip of the finger today. So understand, like, give them a space. It's very easy to say, oh, I was depressed. But no, depression is something really very big, and it's taking toll on the youth of every country. You should understand this. When you see your own son is just avoiding talking to you, or he's locking up yourself or himself into the room and he's not even coming on a dining table, come on, as a parent, go and talk to him. Don't knock on his door and just yell at him, what the hell are you doing in the other room? The child is worried. The youth is actually, your boy, your girl is actually worried. Like, okay, he has to be answerable to if he's not doing good in the exams, if he's fallen in love and the girlfriend has walked out. It's all okay, understand. Give him that shoulder to lean and talk to you. Whether it's your friend, whether it's your, even if your enemy also, I would say, give that space where they can open up. Don't try to judge and analyze, and don't put your experience on them. Because understand, today what all facilities you have, you never had it 20 years back or 30 years back. Your struggle is your struggle, your story is your story. Please don't put this on the youth. They have their freedom to select, they have their own ways of reaching their goals. Only guide them whether the path is right or not, give them suggestions, and finally they let them make their choices. Just don't bluntly say that you're useless, you're of no use, you're putting us to shame, and all these comments. Most of the time, I've heard the kids coming and telling me all these things. The boy who is 21 years old, or even in their 18, 19, they are not able to explain to their parents what they are going through. They don't want to study engineering, they want to do some photography, or they want to join some dancing units, and all. But because of the pressure of from the parents, most of them, they get into it, they complete the course, and end of the time, you won't believe, there are so many kids or so many people of the age between 18 to 20 I have been dealing with. They want to run away from the place where they stay, from the parents. They just find their escapism to go to foreign country, and after going there, they don't even call their parents because they want that freedom. As an elder, we need freedom, so we should also give that to the kids. And why do we all forget that they are our kids? We have brought them into the world, we have trained them, we have nourished them. So are we not questioning youth, but we are questioning our own upbringing? I want these two parents or whoever elders who are watching this program to understand this. Give a platform to youth, yeah. Don't push them towards the darkness and towards the insecurity, so that they become emotionally weak and then they start taking help of these substances, or if not, they put an end for their life. Many you read in the newspaper, just because someone who couldn't completely get into the government job, he couldn't compete for the competitive exams like IAS and all, he ended up the job. I mean, ended up his life writing a note to his father. Many of these newses are coming up, so I just want you people to understand that it is okay if your child is not an engineer, you make him a good human being. It is okay if your child doesn't become an aeronautic engineer or a mechanical engineer, he can still be a good drummer, he can have his own band. So I would say, understand your own upbringing. You're questioning your own upbringing. Don't force anyone. Give a space. Give a space. They have lot of ideas, because more than us, they are browsing. They are into the open world. The entire world has come very close to this youth, so they know more than us. Trust them once and see, everything will be really good. If we start showing trust and confidence in our own kids, the world is going to be a better place to live.
Okay, ma'am, that is really a great answer, because we have, as a youth, we always find the answers from the psychologist mostly here. That is like, it is your fault, you should not be this arrogant, you should not be like this. Like, always they take the part of the parents, and just they will not at all listen to the queries or the questions what the youth have. So, thank you for addressing that.
That is what has always been happening. The things are changing. We are heading towards the 21st century. Now we are in 2023. This is what we have to bring in the changes. Even today, why the Prime Minister is promoting mental health? To have a healthy nation, isn't it? To make a healthy foundation. So it is very much important that stopping bias. Okay, in your age, you were a obedient kid. But today's kid, they are obedient, they are hardworking, they know their challenges, they know their goals. Only thing what is needed is the trust and the confidence on them. We should give them that and see things will be moving in a good direction. If we trust the youth, obviously they are going to make us proud.
Okay, ma'am. So we have another question which is very like seems to be a little funny, but something it is written that, "Hi, ma'am. I'm a very particular about cleanliness. I feel that I have OCD because I always keep cleaning my things and all. So could you please explain that what is OCD and how it affects the mental health?"
See, again, this is related to your emotions and how you have, wired your brain. So in OCD, it's like you keep doing certain things because you have just registered that thing in your brain. Okay, after clearing my hands, washing my hands every now and then, I'm going to be perfectly fine. No, it's not. It's not. You're making some habits. Habits becomes a pattern. So OCD actually becomes a pattern at one certain level. So I want you to understand that, these are the way how you tune with your brain. For example, now I'm just going to make a little different statement over here. In real life, if you want to listen to Radio Mirchi and you tuned on to 93.5 FM radio, instead of that, you tune to 105, will you be able to listen to the radio FM? No. So I want you to understand OCD can be actually controlled by rewiring your brain. Okay, it is something what you have created that habit into a pattern by analyzing this, that it is going to be that way only. Stop analyzing the things in that manner and see how you can control it.
Okay, ma'am.
Even here, I would like to say, if you see, Einstein became Einstein, but doesn't mean that he became Einstein because his desk was neat and clean. You got it. Even today, if you see the best scientists of the world, that table is always, the desk is always messy. So sometimes messy is good. Okay.
Okay, fine, ma'am. So I think that is answered perfectly because OCD or they feel that cleanliness is always needed because
No, cleanliness and OCD, yes, most of the people attach OCD with cleanliness, but it is not only with the cleanliness, it is also taking some thoughts. For example, you didn't like someone, okay, you get captured with that thought and then you term that person as negative, 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 but that person not be negative. So it's not only about cleanliness, it's all about your thoughts and about your feelings.
okay, ma'am. And as a youth, we are facing the issues like as addiction to the phone. Like we parents keep on telling that the youth is addicted to the mobile and they are not working. They are not even helpful for the nation. So, what is your
See,
comment on that?
if you ask me about the phone, I have been getting parents who come down. My child is addicted. Who gave the phone? Okay, come on, forget it. Who gave the phone? Just tell me, like 25 years back, if the phone would have come in our generation, would we not be also attached to the mobiles? We would have, isn't it? When the computers were launched in India, I think so, 25 years back, I had seen everyone getting into the computer institute. I think NEET or something was more, Apple was there. So why were all doing that? So what is wrong if today's generation is using phone? Yes, why are they using phone? Because it's a pacifying object. Nobody questions them, isn't it? Nobody questions them and they are happy. So whose mistake is it? It is our mistake because we keep questioning our kids. We keep asking every now and then. We don't give them the space. And the best is, nowadays, if you see the newborn baby also, just to get our work done, we give a mobile to the newborn baby and then we say, okay, play so that we finish our work. So from where have we put this habit to the kids? And then why blame? So I'm not saying that everyone is doing it, but automatically human being is habitual animal. Somewhere somebody created it and now it's been carried on fearlessly. If you have time for your kids, if you have time for your family, you have that family time, me time, attending meetings and all those things in office, and come back again, sit with your laptop. What are the kids going to do? So it's not that you can still rectify these habits. I do it with my son, and I'm very proud that yes, my son uses mobile, but we are very happy that he uses with us. We sit with him, we watch what he watches, we discuss on it. There is always an healthy discussion over it. But how many parents do this? So I hope I answered your query.
Yes, ma'am. And there is another query like, hi, ma'am. I have an issue. Like, I have come out of a relationship, but it's hurting me when during the time of sleep I start listening to the sad music, and again I go to the memories again and again. So actually, I have come out of it, but I am not.
You're totally lying. You haven't come out of it. You're totally lying that you have come out of it. If you would have come out of it, why do you listen to sad music? Okay, why do you go back to your past? Learn from your past. If you have really come out of the music, I mean, your relationship, sorry, if you would have really come out of the relationship, why the chapter is not closed? Why are you still pondering on the past? So you're telling a true lie to yourself, my dear friend, whoever you are. So I want you to understand that. Come over it. Don't tell this true lie unnecessarily. Come over it and enjoy your life. Okay? You will always get a true relationship in your life if you are finding that true love with yourself. Understand yourself. You will find a true love. First, recognize who you are, understand what you are, and then find out a love for yourself. Love will happen at any point of time.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for answering all our queries. I think we have more questions, but I think the session have come to an end right now. So, any message on this National Youth Day to all the youth out there who are listening to you? So, any as a common message you should like to
One
pass?
common message over all of you across here is trust your instincts, trust yourself, believe in your thoughts, and go ahead in life. Life is very precious. Don't end it with the so called words of depression. Don't get entangled with hurt and sadness. If you want, there are people to help you around. Just you have to make a voice and approach them. That's all. Be healthy, stay happy. Your emotions are more important. Value them.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for answering our queries, and this is for now.